Hey, Pathfinders, welcome back to Light the Path podcast. I'm your host, Deborah the Queen. And look, you are here for episode 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, with Conversations with Qualon. And you absolutely gonna love this one too. I'm so thankful for y'all comments and y'all sharing this with people. Share this with someone you love, because this one is gonna be another one, good one. Grace in the grind. Okay. If you haven't tuned in to the other part of the series, let me tell you who Qualon is. Qualon is a Morehouse man. Okay. He is a poet, entrepreneur, environmentalist. Can we say activist too? Activist and dreamer. Look, come on in. Help me welcome Qualon back to Like the Path podcast. We here for some more. Qualon, we can't get enough.
Here for some more. Season 4, episode 4.
Episode 4, some more. Look, Grace in the grind. And look, I told myself we're supposed to start it off a whole nother way, but let everybody know where they can connect with you. They didn't watch to the end. I'm putting all information in the description box too, but let them know to jump this one off where they can find you at.
Absolutely. Qualon Bobbitt, poet, activist, entrepreneur from Lithonia, Georgia. That's over there on that east side. You can find me a couple of different ways on social media. You can find me Qualon_is_QB, QUALON_ISQB. You can find me on wherever you listen to your music and those streaming platforms. On the We Need You album by the Blackmanlab and Qualon B, that's me. And you can find me Light the Path podcast.
All right, look, let's get into this. Episode 4, Grace in the grind. What has grace looked like for you when you felt like life was heavy or uncertain? What does grace look like for you?
For me, in that time, the first thing that comes to my mind is this definition of forgiveness that I learned from this organization I'm a part of, Ndugu and Nzinga, over at Clark, Atlanta. And the definition of forgiveness that we use is one's ability to accept one's own failings, to accept the failings of others, and to seek healing when those failings produce hurt. So knowing that from all those different aspects, grace, when I look at it, sometimes looks like offering it to myself. Because I might be harder on myself, when I failed at something. Or grace looks like, offering that bit of love and acceptance and grace to someone else because, I've been empathetic, I've been down bad, I've made mistakes, I've failed, I've, come short of my standard and things of that nature as well. So it looks like offering it as well as accepting it. And then when it comes to seeking healing, I know that's just because that grace looks differently. Like grace looks differently where it's like, yo, man, I said I was going to be in bed by this time. Cool. I'm just not going to make it 2 days in a row that, I'm late for. But then sometimes grace looks differently because you've hurt someone's feelings and they need time to heal from that. So maybe it's like, not talking to them for a little bit or what it looks like, that'll actually help heal that, because sometimes just saying I'm sorry ain't enough. So as you say grace, but it's like, how do you show that? So it's looked and it's shown itself differently in the times, just because I don't know about you, but I be taking L's and I be failing sometimes and it don't be feeling good. But knowing that, hey, just because you failed at this does not make you a failure.
Absolutely.
That just means, hey, there's an opportunity for you to get this right,
Yes, all my L's, I'm going to take them because they lessons, okay?
Listen, you start stacking them together. That look like a win. Like,
hold up now. Yeah, okay. I like that.
Listen, we're going to get it.
Those lessons are we don't always get the personal development from the mountaintops, right? When we celebrate, we up high, everything going good. We don't necessarily get that development, those lessons that we get down in the valley. So sometimes, hey, I'm down in the valley.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yes.
I done been there.
Yes. Can you share a time when you wanted to give up, but grace pulled you through?
Absolutely. So I know something that was really difficult for me was after I had gotten out of a relationship. I couldn't afford to stay in the apartment. Well, at that time, she was moving. She was going to get her PhD, but it was out of state, and I couldn't afford to stay in the apartment alone, and so I had to move back in with my mom, and that hurt. But grateful that she was able to allow me to do that. And I'm not having to pay the whatever it is for the rent, but she's still like, you're gonna have to pay something. It's a couple hundred. It's not gonna be what you pay outside, but
Mm-hmm.
grateful for that opportunity that I could have that. And then also a lot of my friends and loved ones that have known me earlier on, I wasn't the most emotionally intelligent person. I was like, nah, I'm logical, because emotions, blah, we don't need those. And was really unintentionally hurting a lot of loved ones. And I didn't know that. I got a genuinely good heart. I'm not trying to do that. And I'll be genuinely confused when people are like crying or like, saying I hurt their feelings over something I did that was inconsiderate, but I didn't know. But they still love me, and they still was rocking with me, and they still, it's like, we love you, even though you do some crazy stuff sometimes. And I'm really appreciative because now looking back, I'm more grateful for them because I'm like, y'all really stuck around when I was just what. I wasn't liking how I was sounding. I wasn't liking how I was feeling. I didn't like who I was as a person. And now these things are projecting out into the world. And y'all were still rocking with me. I really appreciate that. And y'all offering that bit of grace to me because now, I'm in a better space for myself and I can really appreciate you all more. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really a cycle, right? So we're lending grace out, giving it, because then sometime it's gonna boomerang back to us, and I'm so thankful.
Listen,
Right?
you're
I'm
making
so
them deposits because I know I need a withdrawal sometime. You don't
okay.
want to go to
Every
no
now
empty
and
bank.
then, the
Yeah.
Lord has to bring that boomerang right back to you, like, wait, whoa, whoa. And then you need a little grace. So that is very good that you are wise enough to see that and to be able to recognize, like, yeah, I was like this, but then, now I'm not. So I think that's dope that you can do that because that self awareness is a big deal. We got to be aware of who we are or who we were at a certain point in our lives. So I think that's very good that you are able to recognize that. We sort of talked about this in one of the previous episodes, but I sort of want to double back with it. How do you personally balance the drive to achieve with the need to rest? Like, come on, help me, help the listeners out.
Yeah. So finding that balance, like I said, I have not hit a lot of the goals that I've set, but that's not because it's like, I'm just not hitting them. Like, for instance, I'll go back to when we were talking about our push-ups. You know, when I realized, I passed 90, I was like, I hit 98. I know I wanted to get to 100 so bad, so bad. And man, I stopped at 98. Okay, cool. Well, I know at the end of the month, I'm going to do another max out session. I'm not going to make my goal 100 because what you mean I don't train for a whole month and I can only do two more? No, like I'm going to make my goal 125. And now, I'm shooting for 125. Oh, man, I might have hit 115.
Mm-hmm.
I passed the 100. That
That's
was my old goal. But like, no, I didn't reach my new goal, but like the growth is still there. So knowing that, hey, you might not hit the goal that you set. It's okay. Sit, reassess, shoot again, higher next time. You're gonna blow past your old goal. And you're gonna hit or you're gonna miss whatever while you're shooting for the next higher goal and things of that nature. And also, like I said, just make sure that if you're setting yourself on a goal, let's say it's for consistency or something, you're supposed to be in bed at a certain time. I'm saying that from my own example, because I know I've been disciplined in making sure that I'm in my bed by 10 p.m. every night, even on the weekends. It's been a season where that's what I've been doing, and I don't make it all the time. Sometimes I might have made it in at like 10:05. One time, I got a flat tire on the way home. I don't get in till like 10:50. But now I'll just make sure don't make it 2 days in a row. Like, cool. It hurt. I'm upset. I'm sad. I'm mad. I'm frustrated. I'm not going to bring that into tomorrow. And I'm going to make sure that tomorrow, I am in bed by 10 p.m. So that bit of grace where it's not just like lingering and sad and, oh man, feeling like I'm a failure because I failed. No, I failed at this one thing. You know how many times like champions have lost throughout the year? I don't know too many people in any sport where they just undefeated all the way through all year, never lost. I don't even want to hear a lot of times people who don't have any shortcomings and things of that nature. You don't even want to hear their stories because you can't even relate to them. They're born, oh, I got to be perfect to do this, and now I'm not perfect, so that's not
Mhm.
for me. Nah, like people take L's and being more comfortable in like taking the L's, accepting your own failings. It helps. Accepting the failings of others, that helps as well because your love was not perfect and they're gonna hurt your feelings. That don't mean you just excommunicate them. Like, nah, you can work and you can build through that. You can accept that, and it's gonna come back. That boomerang.
Yes, I love that because you also building it up, right? So we don't just come out perfect in whatever we're trying to do. We come out not necessarily having a plan. We have a plan, but we don't know every single point by point by point by point. So it's
Mm,
very important to get those L's so that way you can say, okay, this what that looked like. This what it feels like. I don't
yeah,
want to feel like this again, right? I don't want to go to bed late when I know I got to wake up and be at workouts at 5 a.m.
yeah,
Like, I don't want to have to be rushing through, the day. I want to get my full sleep
absolutely,
to
absolutely. It's
be able
important.
to get up and do that. So we have to have that internal dialogue to be able to sit with ourselves and say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. So it's easy for us, I guess I'm say for myself, to give other people grace. How do you give yourself grace when you're striving for excellence? When you don't hit that mark, how do you give yourself that? Because we excuse other people in a way.
Yeah, I would definitely say though, I am one of my hardest critics. Um, Making sure you don't get lost in that negative self talk. Um, that's real big. That's real big. So just make sure you stay in that positive mindset. That's a big one. And then also gratitude. That's a big one. Knowing that, hey, I'm not perfect. I am not perfect. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm human. It happens. Okay, but I'm not just gonna continuously do wrong. I'm gonna continue to move in the direction that is good and right and true for me. And yeah, give yourself that grace because what fun is it if you just I'm making my way up to the mountaintop, but the entire way up there, you just miserable and complaining. I don't want to do no long kind of car ride with somebody who complaining the whole way on the road trip, talking about it's too hot, it's too cold, I'm cramped, this is taking too long, oh, the weather, oh, like you're not even going to
Get
do it.
out! Get
By the
out!
time you get to wherever you're going, you're not even happy and want to be there no more. But it's like, enjoy that, enjoy the trip, enjoy the highs, enjoy the lows. I think that's what makes roller coasters fun. A lot of the times is that, it's not just no straight shot here and now you're done. It's highs, the lows, you're moving, throwing for a loop, throwing for a turn, but your hands and feet are in the vehicle. You safe, because the creator is looking out for you. Like, it's still a roller coaster. You still gonna be thrown, but that's okay. Like, you're gonna make it and you're gonna enjoy it and you're gonna look back and be like, we did that.
I absolutely love that, Quaylen. I am enjoying these conversations with Quaylen. Okay, episode 4.
Ooh,
We
number
got one more for
4.
y'all. So thank you so much, Quaylen. And I will put all the links to connect with Quaylen in the description box. So don't worry if you didn't get it. If you just came in midstream, it will be in the description box. Pathfinders, remember that sharing our experiences is not only empowering, it can help light the path.